Hey y'all, my name is George Roros and I'm the CEO of Volume Up Agency. What we do here at Volume Up is we help roofing companies who are looking to grow their roofing business grow with a consistent, predictable, reliable flow of exclusive and qualified homeowners looking to have their roof replaced by you. And what I want to talk about today is what I've seen after working with dozens of roofing companies from across the United States and Canada, from companies as small as 6 months old startups to companies as large as the largest residential roofers in the United States. And so there's a few things that I've noticed that keep roofers in this feast and famine cycle and keep them from growing and scaling their business like they would want to. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to walk through what that looks like, why that happens, and how you can fix it. So if that sounds interesting to you, stick around and we'll get you fixed up. Talk to you soon.
Okay, y'all. So as I mentioned, what we're going to discuss today is what happens and why roofers get stuck in feast or famine cycles. So this is when you're running a roofing business, right? And you'll have either periods of getting a decent amount of contracts and then absolute droughts, no contracts. Or if you're a larger corporation, right, what you'll see are you're getting periods of getting a lot of contracts and then periods of much fewer contracts, right? And there's no consistency in the way that you get new contracts with homeowners, right? And so, again, what I'm going to be talking about today is how to escape that feast or famine cycle in your roofing business, right? And what we're going to help you do is we're going to help you stop playing a guessing game with your business's growth, right? There are ways that you can set up systems to be able to predictably grow your business month after month after month after month, right? And there are only two things that you need to be able to do this, right? Only two things you need to be able to predictably grow your roofing business or any business for that matter, right? Because it doesn't change by industry. And the first thing is you need a consistent, predictable source of new opportunity for you to go out and close, right? So new homeowners looking to have their roof replaced by you. And the second is you need a way to consistently convert those opportunities into money, right? Into contracts, right? So if you have these two things, right? A consistent, predictable way to generate opportunities and then a predictable way to convert those opportunities into contracts, you will never have issues in growing and scaling your business, and you won't run into those feast and famine cycles, right? Because you'll have these two things in place to be able to predictably generate new revenue, right? And if you don't have these systems in place, right, you're most likely seeing those feast and famine cycles, which is okay. But if you want to get out of it, the only way to do it is to establish these two things. And again, what you need is a source of consistent, predictable, and reliable opportunities and the ability to close that so that you know, okay, I'll invest X amount of this resource, and I don't say money for a reason, which we'll get into in a second, and I'll get Y in return, right? I'll know I'll get at least Y result if I invest X of this resource. So the reason I don't say money is because there are three resources that you as a business owner can deploy, right? And the first is money, right? Simple, plain, easy. And the way you can deploy money to generate a consistent flow of opportunities is to use a few different methods, right? The first is paid media, right? And there's a bit of a learning curve there, learning how to do that yourself. The second, using billboards, right? Lead brokers, home advisor, Angie's List, Modernize, and then agencies, right? And agencies has an S, so let's add that right there. And so with that, right, money is one resource. The other resource that you have is time, right? And as a business owner, I recommend you get out of trading your time for money as soon as possible if you want a business that is scalable, right? But the way that you can use time to generate money, and you need to do this in the beginning, right, when you don't have that resource of money, are ways like door to door, right? Self-marketing, so learning how to do SEO, learning how to do Facebook marketing, learning how to do organic, learning how to prospect in Facebook groups, whatever it may be, you'll be trading your time, right, to generate those opportunities. And then the last is building relationships. I enjoyed this method of prospecting the most because it's one to many, right? Door to door, you're generating one opportunity for every homeowner you get in front of. Whereas if you're building relationships, right, with realtors, homeowners associations, and insurance agents, what you're going to see is you're going to see a one-to-many relationship. So for every relationship you build with a realtor, you're going to see many homeowner contracts come in. For every relationship you build with a homeowners association, right, you have opportunity now in that entire neighborhood where they know, like, and trust you, right, because you're recommended by the HOA. And then building that trust, if you're in like a storm area, right, where you receive a lot of hail damage, building those relationships with insurance agents is really important as well. So you're their go-to choice when they have a homeowner who needs their roof replaced, right? And so we've talked about the two resources you can deploy so far, money and time. And then the third resource that you can deploy as a business owner as you begin to grow and scale are people, right? So instead of you investing your time in door to door, right, you can hire 2 to 3 sales reps to go out, right, door to door for you, where you may only have 8 to 12 hours in a day to door knock, right? Now you have a force of 3 people, right? Instead of having 8 to 12 hours in a day, you have 24 to 36 hours in a day, right? Which is significantly higher if they stay at your appointment, sit, and close rate. So again, those are the 3 resources you have to deploy as a business owner. 1 is money, 2 is time, and 3 is people. And as a business owner, you want to get away from this as quickly as possible and move into this and this, right? So that you have a scalable business because you, as a single human being, unfortunately are not scalable. Right. And so the next thing I want to talk about is I want to do a quick example of door to door. Right. So let's say that you have um, yourself doing door to door. And I want to talk about how door to door can be a scalable system. Right. Not saying you need to use it, but if you are using it, this is how you can make it scalable. Right. So let's say, again, it's just you doing door to door 8 to 12 hours a day. And let's say that it takes you 30 doors, right, to get 1 appointment. And let's say you close those appointments at 30%, right? And we're lowballing for a reason. And let's say that it takes those 30 doors take you 2 hours to knock 30 doors, right? So what we would have at the end of a day, if we're knocking, let's go on the low end, 8 hours, is we would have 4 times 30, right? Which is 120 doors would be knocked. From there, you get 1 appointment for every 30 doors, so that would be 4 appointments. And you close at 30%. So you would have somewhere around 1.25 contracts. We're going to say 1, just for even numbers' sake. And so what you have here is a system where you go out day after day after day after day, door knocking, knocking 120 doors a day, getting 4 appointments, and then closing one of those into a contract. Now, what's cool here and what you can do to scale is, let's say you now have 3 employees that do this for you. So instead of 8 hours a day on that low end, we now have 24 hours a day. So let me move this over here, and we're going to actually change the color on this so it's easier to tell. Right, so with this new setup, now that you have employees running door knocking for you, you have 3 employees, that's 24 hours a day. Right, so at the end of the day, let's say I have the same conversion rates as you. At the end of the day, that would be 24 hours, right? Divided by 2, that's 12. And then 12 times 30, I actually need to pull out my calculator for that. 12 times 30 is 360 doors, right? So 24 hours equates to 360 doors knocked. And you need 30 doors to get 1 appointment. So 360 divided by 30. That would then be 12 appointments. And let's assume the same close rate of 30%. What you would then see there is, let me actually do that math again, 12 times 0.3. You would have about 3.6 contracts at the end of the day. Again, we're going to lowball that, so 3 contracts. So instead of you going out and doing this by yourself, right, and getting 1 contract a day, you now have 3 people working on your behalf, giving you 24 hours of door knocking a day, 360 doors, 12 appointments with a 30% close rate. That would be 3 new contracts a day, all because you decided to leverage people, which is scalable, instead of your time. And the next example we're going to talk about here of building that consistency in your business is using lead gen, right? So we're actually going to run through some numbers here on lead gen and how you can use that to scale your business. And I'm going to switch over to a Google Sheet for this, just for ease of use and ease of visibility. So I'll see you there in a sec.
Hey y'all, George here again with Volume Up Agency. And what I want to do now is show you basically how you can predictably grow your business using an online lead gen system that brings in a predictable, consistent, reliable flow of exclusive and qualified homeowners looking to have their roof replaced by you. And so what I'm going to do today is just walk through an example of how this system why this system is so powerful and how it can help you scale your business to literally an infinite amount, right? Up to the total addressable market. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through a few calculations here to show you the numbers of what this looks like in growing and scaling your business. So first things first, we're just going to make an example, right? So let's say month one, we're going to invest $3,500 into our system to grow our business, right? And let's say that on average, we pay about $35 per lead with this system, right? What you would then see is 100 leads at the end of the month, right? So about a $35 cost per lead. Now, what we're going to do here is, on average, let's say we see anywhere from a 40 to 50% conversion rate from lead to book deployment. Let's lowball it and just say we get a 30% booking rate. What we would then have at the end of month one running this system is 30 book deployments, right? So 30% of 100 is 30. And so that would be a $116 cost per book deployment. And let's say 90% of those people show up, so that would be, have to do the math real quick, 30 times 0.9, that'd be 27 people showing up to your door, or you showing up to their door, doing a sit, talking to them about their roofing project. And let's assume you have a low close rate of only 20%, right? What that would then look like at the end of month one, so 27 times 0.2 would be 5.4 contracts for you, right? So with that, what you can see in this system is we've invested $3,500 a month, or $3,500 into generating opportunity for our roofing business, right? Let's say that brings us 100 leads, right, on the low end, with a $35 cost per lead. Let's say that we have a 30% booking rate, right? We would have 30 book deployments at the end of the month, and let's say 90% of those people show. We would then have had 27 sits with those homeowners, right? And assuming a low close rate of 20%, right, what you would see at the end of that month is 5.4 contracts closed, right? So for $3,500, you got yourself 5.4 contracts. So you are basically getting contracts at $648 a piece with new homeowners, right? So now what we're going to talk about is the ROI on that, right? So we spent that $3,500, right? Invested that into getting a consistent flow of homeowners looking to work with us, right? And let's say we have 5.4 contracts. On average with our systems, we typically see an average contract value of about $14,919. Let's just lowball it again and just say our contract average was $10,000, right? So 5.4 times 10,000 would be $54,000, right? So we would have closed $54,000 in revenue, and let's assume we have a lower profit margin than most roofers, right? Let's say we only have a 25% profit margin. What we would then see in profit at the end of that month is $13,500 in profit from a $3,500 investment, right? So that would be, for every dollar you invest in this system, on the back end, bottom line, you would get $3.85 or 86 cents back. So does that sound like a deal? Does that sound like something you would do over and over and over again? Because this is what you're looking for, right? If you're looking for some magic bullet where you invest $1 and you get $1 million back, you're going to be looking for that for the rest of your life. What you want to do to consistently, predictably grow your business is have a system in place where you can put $1 in and get at least $1.01 back, right? At the minimum, right? Pretty low ROI, but at that point, you're still growing and scaling consistently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this example into a month two example. So let's say month one, we invested that $13,500 into advertising, right? And we got we got that $3,500 invested in the advertising. We got $13,500 returned to us. So let's say next month we decide to invest $10,000, right? Just for number's sake, right? We take our $3,500, invest in the ad spend, and then we have that $10,000 left over. So what that would look like is we're going to invest 10K. Let's assume we still have that $35 cost per lead, right? So $10,000 divided by 35 would be 285 leads generated. And let's assume we still have that 30% booking rate. So 285 times 0.3 would be 85.5, right? We're just going to do 85 to even out the numbers, right? And then after that, let's assume we still have the same show up rate, so 90%, so 85 times 0.9, 76 shows from those 85 appointments, right? And let's assume we still have that 20% close rate. So 76 of the sits we have, we close 20% of those. That would be 15.2 contracts that month, right? So 15.2, assuming we still have that same close rate. So now you've taken that $10,000 profit that you made from month one, reinvested it back in the scaling, kept your numbers there the same, and now what we have is we spent $10,000 this month, right? Revenue close would then be, let's do that 10,000 times 15.2, so 10,000 times 15.2. You would then have made $152,000 in revenue from that $10,000 investment. And these aren't crazy numbers, by the way. Like these are just average numbers of what you should see if you have a predictable, consistent, reliable source of exclusive and qualified homeowners. And then on the back end, you also have a sales process to be able to close those, right? That's really all you need, and that's what we're talking about here today. So again, assuming we still have that 25% profit margin, should be more in the 30, 35, 40% range for a healthy roofing business. You would then have $38,000 at the end of that month, bottom line profit from that $10,000 investment. Right, so you could see how this allows you to consistently grow and scale your business, right? In month one, we invested $3,500, got $13,500 back, reinvested that 10K profit in the next month's advertising, and now instead of getting $13,500 bottom line, we're getting $38,000, right, from that investment. So you can see this is basically how you grow and scale a business, right? You have two things in place. One is a consistent, predictable, reliable source of exclusive and qualified homeowners looking to have their roof replaced by you, right? New opportunities is what you want to have a consistent flow of. And then two is a predictable way to convert those opportunities into contracts, right? So that would be having a good sales process in place. And what's great about this is here at Volume Up Agency, we help you with both of those, right? We have a system that we've built out and honed over millions of dollars in ad spend to bring you that predictable, consistent, reliable flow of exclusive and qualified homeowners looking to have their roof replaced by you. And we also have the experience from working with dozens of roofers to help you hone your sales process in to be able to get results like these on the low end, right? This is what an average performing roofer would do. So last thing I want to say here is if you guys are looking to actually grow and scale your business and escape that feast and famine cycle that you've been experiencing in your business, right? And you actually want to hit consistent strides of growth in your business, this is the only way to do it, right? It doesn't need to be with us. You can find a door knocking system like we talked about earlier, right? You can set up a door knocking system that works with what you're doing, right? But if you want us to come in and set up the systems we already have proven in your business on your behalf, so all you have to worry about is going out and closing those deals, right? Having that system in place to predictably convert the opportunities we send you, then what I want you to do is go ahead and at the bottom of this YouTube video in the description, what you'll see is there's a link to be able to apply to work with us. Now, we only accept one roofing contractor per service area because we like to make sure that we are serving the best roofer in that area. So what I want you to do is go ahead, again, click that link, fill out that application, and if you're qualified, what'll happen is you'll be taken to a page to schedule an appointment with one of our roofing growth advisors. And what they'll do is they'll talk to you about where you're at in your business, right? See where you're getting stuck, right? Do you have a way to consistently grow your business? And if not, being able to help you get there. And then making suggestions on what the best next move is for you, right? It may be starting to work with us, or it might be going out and doing something else. Maybe you're a little bit smaller and you need to go out door knock a bit more before you're ready to work with us. They'll be able to help you and give you that guidance on where you need to go next, right, to hit that growth. So again, if you're looking to escape those feast and famine cycles and finally grow your roofing business like you've always wanted to, click the link below and we'll help you out. And if you guys have any questions about this video, leave a comment below and me and my team will get back to you with the answers as soon as possible. Again, my name is George Roros, CEO of Volume Up Agency, and I hope you all have a great day.